welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal content here on my channel. So as I'm sure you can see from the title, it is going to be dealing with a bunch of like Halloween spooky things like that, and that's actually going to be the theme for my videos and for my channel as well as my content for the next week. So starting today leading up to the day of Halloween, we are doing a week of Halloween. So that means anything related to anything creepy, Halloween, paranormal, anything like that. Also, I want to throw in the fact that you guys probably don't expect to see content like this from me. It's usually very girly, home decor, makeup, fashion, all types of like girly things, and that's what you're usually used to seeing on my channel. But if you have been around for a while, then you guys have more than likely seen that there is a couple like ghost hunting videos or paranormal experiences. Like I said, I have recently taken everything off of my channel and started fresh, started brand new. So those types of videos and content is no longer available on my channel, but I do want to continue to, you know, mix it in and add it into my normal everyday type of content that you would see here. Most people wouldn't expect me to be into the paranormal as much as I am. I guess because of the way that I look, the way that I dress, the way that I carry myself, just the way that my personality is in general. Most people don't expect me to be as involved and as intrigued with the paranormal side of things as I actually am. It's actually a big part of my life. It's actually a huge hobby of mine to go ghost hunting, research haunted things. Like, it's honestly like just a huge like thing for me. I don't know what it is. I've always been obsessed with like creepy things, ghosts, Halloween. Obviously Halloween is my favorite holiday, so it kind of ties in. But you guys, paranormal things and spooky things is like a big part of my everyday life. And like I said, you probably wouldn't expect that from me because I like pink glittery frilly things, and like when I show up like that, people's gonna be like, yeah, no, she's not hunting no ghosts, like what is she doing? But honestly, like, I love it. I consider myself the girly ghost hunter because most people's not going out there with acrylic nails, cute outfits, full face of makeup to go hunt some ghosts or like see what demons are lurking around the corner. Most people won't do that. So for this entire playlist, not just for this week, but as I said, I do want to start adding in more of my like everyday life and my everyday hobbies into my channel because it's my channel. It's about me. It's about my life, things that I do, things that I like, things that I enjoy. So I do want to, you guys hear that? So I do want to add that into my channel and my content. So I will be adding a playlist on this channel called The Girly Ghost Hunter because you guys, that is me. But since I have planned to do a whole week worth of Halloween videos leading up to the day of Halloween, we are going to go ahead and jump it off today with some crazy or random Halloween facts that you may or may not have known. So let's go ahead, jump in, and find out some crazy Halloween facts. So for Halloween, for most people, is just a fun holiday that happens at the end of October. It's when we get to wear costumes, we get to go door to door asking for candy, we carve pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns, we do all type of fun, creepy type of activities for Halloween. That's what we know it as. It's pretty much a day to dress up, be scary, and get candy. But the history of Halloween and how Halloween became is actually a lot more in-depth than any of that. Like, it was not originally going around getting candy. Like, it is so crazy when you actually think about it and like research how Halloween started, where it came from, all the different like religions and traditions that have been added, taken, changed. Like, it's crazy, you guys. So I'm not here to give you a whole like Wikipedia lesson on like the whole beginning and history behind Halloween. I'm just here to share some crazy facts with you that you may or may not have known. So first of all, it's kind of tricky when you're talking about Halloween depending on your religious beliefs or what you're accustomed to know, or you know, your personal preferences. I know personally a lot of Christians don't celebrate Halloween because they feel that it is a pagan holiday, although there are also, some people may argue and some people may also say that Halloween is older than Christianity, which is crazy when you think about it. Like, you guys, I don't even like ever in my life think about like before Christ times or like anything past like 1992, I don't really think about. I was born in 1992, so I don't think about like a world and a life and beings before that. Really, it's so crazy, I know. But they say that Halloween actually can date back to be older than Christianity, and it started as a ancient Celtic, like Irish type of tradition, which, you guys, I'm kind of like happy about that because I have Irish in my bloodline. I am Irish and Cherokee Indian, so like, I don't know, I feel like me being Irish and having the connection to Halloween that I have, it might be something there. I'm not really sure. But a lot of people say that it dates back to like ancient pagan or the ancient Celtic Irish type of things, because they had a festival back in the day that is also known as Summer's Inn, which is pretty much when, you know, summer in, fall comes around. It pretty much is self-explanatory, but it has different names. It has been called All Hallows Eve, All Saints Eve. Like, Halloween has a whole bunch of names, and as I said, throughout times and as it has been adapted from one culture to another, from one religion to another, it has changed. Some things have been altered. So it really is up to you and your beliefs and how you take it and what you consider it as, really. And also, this is something that I have heard like as far back as I remember, you guys. You know, I'm obsessed with Halloween, so I've like looked into different things. But the fact is that on Halloween, that is the time of year or the time of season, the veil between the two worlds, meaning the dead world and the living world, the veil that separates those two and let us like continue our separate lives and separate beings, the veil between those two worlds become thinner, making it a lot easier for the spirits on the other side to be able to come and go. Like, it's easier for them to navigate through and come into our reality, our dimension, our world. And if you guys didn't know that, that is also actually kind of what the witching hour is as well. So the witching hour, I've heard two different scenarios about this. So I always say it's from like 12 to 3. But I've heard that it started as 12 to 1, like midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning was considered the witching hour. But it has, I guess, changed since then, since people go to bed later. So now it's like 3 or 4 in the morning when the witching hour is a thing or occurs or whatever the case is. But it's pretty much the same thing as like the veil being thinner on Halloween, because during the witching hour is a lot of times when you get more paranormal activity. It's when ghosts tend to be a little more active or make themselves known, because once again, the veil is thinner between in that time. They also call it the devil's hour, but between that time, the veil is thinner, allowing the spirits from the other world still be able to navigate and easily come into ours and travel back and forth between the two. So with Halloween, it's kind of the same thing as the witching hour or the devil's hour, meaning that in that time space or that certain point, that the veil between our two worlds, between the dead and the living, is a lot thinner. There's really no boundary there, and the spirits are able to easily navigate and come through and go back and forth as they please. So as we already talked about Halloween and kind of how it originated from like ancient Irish people, and then it was kind of adapted with pagans, and then it was kind of thrown into a Christianity background. Like I said, I'm not really going to speak too much on that, you guys, because I'm not here to like debate religion and like try to make you believe one thing over another, because it's really up to you and your preferences. So part of the tradition back when Halloween had became a thing, or when they were celebrating this festival, they believed that since the veil was the thinnest and these entities and these spirits were able to travel back and forth, they dressed up in costumes, scary costumes, and lighting these bonfires with the light illuminating everything. It would actually scare away and ward off the evil spirits that were coming back around. So it's kind of crazy to think that now in our modern day of Halloween, we dress up in costumes just because it's fun, and we know that that's what we do on Halloween. Like, everybody thinks about that when they think about Halloween. Like, I get to dress up and go out and get some candy. Like, the whole thing is finding the perfect costume, right? But it's so crazy to think about. The costumes came about to actually scare off these spirits that were traveling back and forth while the veil was the thinnest. Another crazy thing to think about is the fact that, once again, with our modern day traditions of Halloween, we know that we not only dress up, but we go around into our communities, we go door to door, and we get candy. We knock on the door, say trick or treat, and we get our candy. That's pretty much what we all know it as. Unless you dive into it and understand the history and the background behind it, which I did, and I didn't even know this, and this kind of like blew my mind. I did not think about this. So I always thought that, you know, trick-or-treating was always trick-or-treating, that you go around to the doors and you get candy. That's what I always thought, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys also thought that as well, because that's just what we know growing up. You know, I'm 31 years old, so like this has been in my head for 31 years. I never knew or thought anything different. But one of the origins of trick-or-treating actually started back in like medieval Christian times, where the poor and children would go around their community and go door to door, and they, instead of doing trick-or-treating where they would knock and get candy in exchange, they would actually offer prayers for these people, where they would pray for these people in exchange for cake. And the cake that they would be doing this exchange for was called soul cakes. So they actually called it souling, where they went around throughout the community, door to door, praying for these people who opened the door in exchange to get a piece of delicious cake. Which, that's kind of crazy, because I mean, we kind of do the same thing without like praying for the people, but we still knock and get like delicious, sweet, like little candies. So like, it's kind of weird like how that kind of stayed in the realm of everything. But then there's also another origin where the fact of trick-or-treating was where these people would dress up and go door to door and offer songs, dances, jokes, any type of like activity that they could do to earn money off of. So they would go around and, you know, recite poetry, they would sing songs, they would do dances, they would tell you jokes, all types of things. And they would do that in exchange for treats or money. So it's kind of like the gesture of the things, like somebody that you bring out to make you laugh, to, you know, that type of thing. So there was really people going around door to door and telling jokes and singing and dancing, and that's how they got candy or money or whatever it was that these people would like offer up. It is so crazy to think about those two origins now, when we are accustomed to and we think that trick-or-treating is going around knocking on doors and getting candy just because you knocked and said trick-or-treat. And this random fact here is one that I actually did not know, but there's really no way for me to know it anyway, because you guys, I'm terrified of spiders. I'm actually terrified of any bug. It does not matter if it's a ladybug, a butterfly. Like, y'all, this is cute, but a real butterfly? No, I'm out. So I don't deal with bugs, insects of any sort. I don't want one to get even nowhere near me. So there was really no way that I would have known this anyway, because I run away from every bug. But it is actually said to believe that finding a spider on Halloween night is actually good luck, and that means that a loved one is watching over you. You guys, I have a head full of like random superstitions, random facts, random everything. I did not know that finding a spider on Halloween is good luck. It means that a loved one is looking after you, or that they are with you. But like I said, I'm terrified of spiders, any type of bugs. So I mean, I love my loved one, and I'm sorry if that was your way of showing me that you're coming around, but can we be something else? I don't deal with spiders. But yes, apparently this Halloween, you guys, if you see a spider out on Halloween night, that is good luck and a loved one is with you. Okay, so this one actually kind of blew my mind as well, because when we think about Halloween, I don't really think about it because I've only had one Halloween experience where this was like a thing or like even brought up. But a lot of people do apple bobbing. If you don't know what apple bobbing is, it's pretty much they put a whole bunch of apples into a bucket with some like water or whatever it may be, and you stick your head in there and you have to try to grab an apple without your hands, anything like that. It's like a little Halloween game activity, just something fun that you do on Halloween. Honestly, when I think about Halloween, it never really crosses my mind, because like I said, once again, I've only been as a kid, like as a teenager or middle school. I don't really remember the time frame, you guys, my memory is terrible. But when I was younger and in school, I actually had a friend who had a Halloween party, and a bunch of kids from school was over there. We played the Ouija board, did a whole bunch of things that we probably was not supposed to do as young children. But one of the things that they had there, or one of the little games, was apple bobbing. And this is the only time apple bobbing has been a part of my Halloween traditions, activities, whatever it is. Like my normal Halloween things do not involve apple bobbing. This was the only time. So I did not know this either. But apple apple bobbing is actually a like way that they used to do fortune telling. It originated from having like a fortune telling or psychic type of background. And the specifics with apple bobbing is a woman would take an apple and she would mark a specific apple somehow. I'm not really sure how. Maybe she'd put a fingernail indent in it, scrape off some of the peeling. I'm not really sure. But she would mark this apple in a specific way, a specific apple, and then it's put into the barrel with everything else. And then if a man were to go in and bob for the apple and he picks the apple that she had marked, that is apparently her future lover. And it's so crazy to think about that, you guys, because I don't ever even think about apple bobbing, but the fact that it could tell your future and pick out your like potential lover is a little crazy. So you guys try the apple bobbing thing for me this year and let me know how that goes, please, because I'm really curious. I never even knew that apple bobbing had a background. I didn't even know that it had anything to do with psychics or fortune telling or predicting your future, let alone finding your future lover. So I thought that was a little interesting fact. Another one that I did not know, and it is actually kind of weird, but I might try it, but I might not. So there is a tradition where it is said that if you put your clothes on inside out and walk backwards, then you will see a witch at midnight. I don't know if that's true, you guys. I've never done it. I might try it out. I don't know. Might be a little too scared. But have you guys ever heard that? Let me know down below, because I thought that was absolutely crazy. Like, who's going to put their clothes on inside out and walk backwards? And then you just run into a witch at midnight. Like, I did not know some of these, you guys, and that was one of the ones that I was like, whoa, what? Okay, so the last random fact, you guys, there's like 1,000 of these things. I just picked out the ones that was like more appealing to me, or the ones that I didn't know, and I was like, does anybody else know this? So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 1,000. There's probably lists all over the internet, videos all over the internet. These are just some of the ones that I picked out just to have some quick little fun with you guys and make this week of Halloween as fun as we possibly can. So the last fact that I have is, have you ever wondered why black and orange is pretty much the symbol for Halloween? Every Halloween thing is pretty much black and orange. We see black and orange everywhere for Halloween. It is like the universal symbol, logo, whatever you want to call it, for Halloween. But did you know that those colors actually have a meaning and a reason for why they are there? The orange is being that it is light and represents the color of fall. You know, orange, autumn, it kind of always goes together. The leaves start to change when you burn your bonfires, anything like that. Of course, they're usually orange typically, or mostly orange. And so the orange side of that correlates with it being light, fire, autumn, fall colors, pretty normal things. The black, though, however, represents death or the dead. And I thought that was so crazy because it like correlates, like, I thought it was crazy, you guys. I was like, so that's why everything is black and orange. Like, I never knew that it actually had a meaning. I just figured somebody picked these colors and went with it. Like Christmas, red and green. That might have a background that I'm not even aware of, but we all know red and green is pretty much Christmas colors, just like we know black and orange is Halloween colors. But I did not know that they represent different things, and it's actually like kind of opposite. Like the orange represents light, fire, autumn, and then the black represents death and being dead and deadness and just darkness all around. That's absolutely crazy. But I hope that you guys enjoyed these random facts about Halloween. Like I said, I know there is 1,000 of them probably all over the internet. So if you want to look into it and find something different, or maybe do some research on the things that I found, go ahead and do it. Let me know down below some of the creepy facts that you know about Halloween, or some of the creepy facts that you have found out about Halloween, and I can't wait to see them. I definitely hope you guys had fun with this little Halloween themed video. If you did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up. As always, go ahead and leave me your comments down below until my next video. And if you haven't done it already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. As you see, I film and upload randomly. I don't want you guys to miss out on anything, and there is definitely something on my channel for everyone. We have makeup for the girly girls. We have mom stuff for the mommies. We obviously have Halloween and paranormal stuff for those of you who are into the weird things as I am. So I don't want you to miss out on anything. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.